Game of the Year contender Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is disappointing. Welcome to another Games Recap. Join us on our discussion live every day at 11 a.m. PST as I rant about today's biggest news. Alright, let's get right to it. Publisher Square Enix is not happy with the sales of Guardians of the Galaxy despite being highly praised by critics and gamers alike. According to a recent financial filing from publisher Square Enix, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy underperformed unstated sales target. It sounds like a marketing problem to me. Developed by Eidos Montreal and released last October, Guardians of the Galaxy is highly and tightly paced linear third-person action game. You play as Star-Lord and you can give directions to your team members while in combat. Overall, the game is well polished and has a very good script that even won the team a Best Narrative trophy at the 2021 Game Awards. Square Enix reports and even championed the critical praise in the financial report, saying despite strong reviews, the game's sales on launch undershot our initial expectations. So this is kind of like a deja vu. If you guys remember in 2013 when there was a Tomb Raider reboot, that even sold 5 million within like 2-3 weeks or something, right? But Square Enix still say it was disappointing because they had higher expectations. So in a time where we were going through the PS5 phase, this was really alarming. As you can imagine, selling 5 million used to be awesome. Now it's not, right? And we can see this trend kind of transitioning into the next PS5. So Tomb Raider, unfortunately, is kind of setting this pace where a lot of games coming from Square Enix camp is just not hitting on par to what the expectations are. So what that also means is, like, if you remember Hitman 3 in particular, the latest game from IO Interactive, which caused a lot of controversy because Square Enix basically pulled out and said they didn't want to fit the bill, and instead that team had to publish things independently, and within a week of release, the team was able to kind of recoup its development costs. So that's kind of like haha to Square Enix for not believing in them. Also in 2020, you guys remember, there was the Marvel Avengers game, right? The first of the two Marvel's partnership between Square Enix and Marvel's. That fell short of expectation as well. That didn't sell well. They're still making a marketing push for it, but the truth is nobody wants to play it, right? If you think about last spring in particular, the publisher or the game developer, People Can Fly, they also had issues, and they were kind of a very well veteran makeup of team where they were shipping Bulletstorm, but with Outrider, their second outing, despite a lot of wide report and taking the world by storm, it quickly was able to gather up 3.5 million players, with even Square saying that it was on track to become the company's next major franchise. But by August of last year, the team has yet to receive any royalties from Square Enix. So this is all alarming in many different fronts, as you guys can imagine. If you are a publisher like Square Enix and you have awesome development teams which are being bought out by every other major Microsoft or Sony company, this can be an issue where it's just not enough. You know, there are high expectations from these publishers that are unrealistic, right? It's hitting marks that most games would be super happy to get, but even with this latest release with Guardians of the Galaxy, despite the development team doing a kick-ass job, it looks great, it plays great, and the script even won awards, the publisher is still putting to blame the developers behind the game, which, you know, they only have so little control in terms of marketing. I would even say that yes, development costs probably ballooned up to a certain extent, but that is still up to the publisher to kind of put the constraints because now the development team is only concentrated on making sure that the game itself is awesome. What more can they do, right? So this is a big problem going into this next gen console cycle. As you guys can imagine, right? If you're a team that is doing quadruple A or triple A, you're only concentrated on making the game great, right? But now you have to worry about how a publisher have lofty expectations that you can never meet. Now you're out on the curb again with your whole team thinking that you did a good job, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So this is what is very important. Obviously, I want to highlight this is something that I do see becoming a major issue going into the next few years, where yeah, 5 million used to be good on the PS4 phase, not so great on PS5. PS5 has to be at least 8 to 10 million. Now we're looking at 10 to 12, quite possibly, to cover the development costs. It just seems impractical, and it's unfortunate because we always, like myself, like to play these huge blockbuster games. But if your development team hasn't really grown, and we're doing all we can with the tool set to kind of make these games bigger without adding more costs in terms of bodies in these seats, it makes it really tough to continue making these games. I know a lot of people out there is like, well, I mean, I like independent games, I like smaller games anyways, how does this affect me? Well, I mean, if you want the continued growth of the industry, you need all flavors that to be at play here, not just smaller games but bigger games. And it seems like we're getting to the state where, unless it is a Call of Duty or a sequel of a franchise game, even Tomb Raider reboot had an issue, but something like Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, which was and is a good game, having trouble like this, it just really makes it difficult for us developers to kind of look ahead and be kind of hopeful that everything will pan out. Well, that's pretty much today's games recap. As always, guys, leave your opinion in the discussion. I would love to hear it. As always, this is just a tidbit. I'll see you guys tomorrow.